it was important for him to play the 3-4-3, the 3-4-3 for him because first thing is first, he needed to understand the type of players he has. He doesn't have a Trincao anymore. He doesn't have a Gikaresh. In the defense, he doesn't have an Inacio. He doesn't have a Diomonde. He has none of those players. What he has Johnny Evans. Sasawa. He has Casemiro. He has
Rashford.
He has Rashford. Already pound for pound, that is a step down from what he had.
Welcome back to another episode of the Wildcard. Of course, I'm your host, Brian Waudo. This week, of course, joined by
Joe Saina.
Venant, best field manager in town.
Why are you lying?
The truth, my friend.
Anyway, remember this episode has been brought to you courtesy of SportPesa. Now, remembering the fact that this weekend we have a big blockbuster headlining fixture in the Premier League, that is Liverpool taking on Man City. In the last 10 years, Man City have only beaten Liverpool once at Anfield. Question of the week, what was the scoreline when they last beat Liverpool at Anfield? Certain midfielder who's now dead, man. He can't run, Bana. He can't run that midfield anymore. Anyway, type it up in the comments, and of course, we'll give you a big shout out in next week's episode. So, gents, how you doing, man? Wiki imekuaje? Weekendi rather.
Weekend was nice. I mean, in terms of football. I mean, if you're a Real Madrid fan, you're happy. If you are an Arsenal fan, you're happy. If you're a Man City fan, we start some concerns. If you're a Man U fan, optimism.
Yes,
I think that's
something to look forward to.
Optimism. Either look forward or be cautious.
And even
it's a mixture of happy and also angry.
Yes,
angry because Gor Mahia, man, biggest game. In the country.
Yes.
What's happening? What's happening? At the same time, I'm happy because you're closing that gap between us and Man City, and also we're chasing Liverpool. If a point where Liverpool need a penalty to get the 3 points, I'm very confident in how
chasing
we
is
are.
all you know, but bagging is where you draw the line.
But just to add what he said, I mean, it's like when we have a Man U versus Liverpool fixture, and you're telling me there's no field to play on.
True.
And that in itself.
Sometimes we shoot ourselves on the foot.
Arguably the two biggest clubs in Kenya since our independence in 1963, and we can't get a field in 2024.
The whole country. No field. Anyway, so Basi, but Joe, you did mention of the fact that City fans are very disappointed. The three of them that we know, right? Lawton, Tobiko,
there's Lawton,
the three City fans that we know are very disappointed over the week, right?
Yeah, because here's the thing: the game. I watched the game against Tottenham, and one thing was for certain: those players were very lethargic for me. Because if you look at even the first goal, the way the City team was drawn to the right side of Tottenham, all right, when they were having possession, then they let Tottenham play out wide so many times on the right side. Where Graviol, now because Graviol is defending on the left, it would be all right if you attacking down, where Graviol succeeds, you would see that gap. And by the time someone like, I can't believe it, the way Maddison literally walked into their D and scored the goal. If you look at how they covered the midfield, it's not about Kovacic or Rodri anymore. It's about now Pep saying, I am a manager. I've managed Barcelona, Bayern Munich, Manchester City. They need to know that I'm a world-class manager. How can I shift again this team to start winning? Because you can't play down that I do not have defensive midfielders. You had all the other players who were not well. They came back. Akanji was back. Ake was back. De Bruyne was back. I mean, come on. So in terms of how lethargic that team was, Tottenham are not supposed to be winning that way.
True.
No. If it was a championship team, sawa, chapa watu 4-0. But you get not the defending champions. And not in that manner. Maddison made Ederson sometimes look like a complete clown, Bana.
It was his birthday, I mean.
Hey, banana brace, eh?
It was his birthday.
In 9 months' time, tutaona mtoto wa Maddison. Umesema brace against City is something to celebrate vehemently with.
He spoke on that actually. He said it's something you'll live to remember considering it was his birthday.
Okay, fair enough. So at the end of the day, ever since my man said those words to Arteta, stay humble, man has been blanking.
Can I give you
the guys are contemplating of getting rid of him in terms of the FPL teams?
Can I give you the stat?
Yes.
Ever since he stayed, stay humble, that guy played 7 games, 2 goals, 9 big chances missed. Like these were sure goals, and 37 shots taken.
Yesterday, he had the whole of Nairobi and parts of Kiambu as space for him to convert the first goal. He didn't. No, literally. Please.
You think if he scores that is a different game?
Yeah, it's a different game. I mean, if you score first against Tottenham, somewhat there's a morale boost for Man City. And again, Tottenham are thinking to themselves, "Wait, these champions are on us." But you do not convert that chance. 2 chances. You're Erling Haaland. Aye, there's a problem.
Best number 9 in the world, apparently. He's going to eclipse the likes of Alan Shearer and Van Persie and them, man.
Alan Shearer was sitting in the studio thinking to himself, but I still have time. And my record still has time.
When Kane, on the other hand, at Bayern Munich is breaking records, he's actually broken Haaland's record for the fastest player to reach 50 goals.
But
in the Bundesliga.
But Kane at his age. But anyway, we're talking about Haaland. It confirms what you're talking about last week, where you're talking about the big players that we have right now.
Yeah.
Yes.
When now you look at a game like last week, it kind of rules Haaland out, considering we were cheering for him to be in that WhatsApp group, so Haaland was very sloppy in front of the goal. We also have to look at the midfield. They were sloppy, they were lethargic. That 4th goal that Spurs scored, for me, confirmed how City are right now. And it's coming at a bad time. You look at, before the match, you have Rodri there with the Ballon d'Or.
Yes.
So guys were saying, until you return that Ballon d'Or to
Vini Jr., man,
they're going to lose.
But if you think about it, and I like what he said, how do you start a game against Tottenham and say in your midfield, who's going to cover my midfield? Gundogan and Bernardo Silva, who we know both of them to be either box-to-box midfielders or playmakers. And you want them to be defensive midfielders. There is no way. And even they are lucky that Tottenham were not playing through the middle. They were using the wings. If they were playing through the middle, bro, that could have been a murder case.
Has Gundogan really regressed that much?
No. I believe he was being played out of position. Gundogan, for me, is a playmaker. He's either a 10 or an advanced, box-to-box midfielder. But putting him in a situation whereby he's supposed to defend, same time create. Yes, I know there are players who are deep laying playmakers. Guys like Rodri, because of the stamina, because of the physique. But now Gundogan telling him to go against Bissouma, for example. Bissouma nampiga check, it's a wrap. You get.
Are we blaming the players or are we blaming Pep for this loss?
Personally, if you look at the game, players. Because a single game to me, over 90 minutes, I think you blame the players. But if it's 5 defeats in a row, looking on to possibly 6 this coming weekend against Liverpool, then it's down to the coach. I mean, every team has its bad days. Even champions have their bad days. But in all competitions, losing 4 games, as a manager, you sit down and you ask yourself, what can I adjust? Remember, I think it was last season or the previous season, whereby he adjusted to a 3 at the back, and that won him the Premier League towards the last 2 months of the league. So is it time for him to think, I don't know if I can get a very good defensive midfielder in the January transfer window. How do I change my formation? And like you said, at some point, the blame has to go to the manager. At some point. Can you start teaching Pep lessons on how to grow hair? Maybe I tried with my best friend Ten Hag, it didn't work. So this weekend, where do they win that game from? Because at Anfield, in the last 10 or so years, they've only had 1 win in the Premier League. For me, it's simple. Score quick in the first, 2-3 minutes, silence the Liverpool fans and the players. Then from there, I know this sounds really bad, and those 3 to 4 Manchester City fans will say, no, Joe, but defend for your life. Because Salah, Gakpo, Gravenberch, I'm telling you, even Nunes on his worst day, he can get something against this Man City team.
Can I chime in? First and foremost, before I answer your question, you also need to give Spurs credit where it's due.
True.
I mean, they played very well. You've talked about, I also have to add in the bogey team. It seems like Spurs, it's Man City's certified bogey team. We also have to give credit where it's due. I was very impressed with Vicario, Dragusin, Madison. I always say, Solanke and his 3 sons. They played very well. We have to give Spurs credit where it's due. I hope they use this to build their confidence ongoing, because it's a proper team and they could benefit if they're in like Europa next season.
And that's the issue. You're giving North London clubs credit. There's the reason why the term Sparzy exists. Because we all know next week they'll fumble. We all know they'll fumble. So there's no need to give them credit.
Actually, it's one of those we'll see.
Okay, fair enough.
For Man City now, Man City, let's use this Champions League fixture. I don't know if it's
coming up,
Feyenoord or something. Let's use this fixture now to build on our confidence, to actually fix our problems, so that by the time we're going to Anfield, they are ready. Because there's that cabana of this is Anfield that they must pass through, and the culture at Anfield is totally different. We've seen what they've done versus Southampton, where there's that winning mentality where we have to go in and just do everything we can to get those points. Funny enough, I'm with Man City this weekend.
So
that is confidence, man. That is confidence.
Lotan, Gibbs and Eric, mmesikia Venant. Amesema ati use the Feyenoord fixture to build confidence going to Anfield. Wacha niwaambie kitu. As an experienced loser at that ground, there is nothing that builds confidence. I lost there 7-0 after winning the Carabao Cup. Chief. Nothing prepares you for Anfield. Nothing. Wow. What again, your L weekend. I think Liverpool will probably win it 3-1 or something.
If they get a point.
Yeah. If they get a point. Basi hapo wame escape. See at it's any title hope or anything.
You guys are so escaped. Confident that it's a comfortable win for Liverpool.
If they get a point, City fans should throw a parade for Pep. I swear to God. They should party, let like, any tour bus.
They should party like the Leicester players.
They should. At the end of the day, Anfield, it's the toughest. Bro, Ferguson used to get slapped there even.
Okay.
Ferguson as well. Every manager we've had has gotten slapped there. Pep Adia amezoea kupigwa Anfield. So it will be nothing new to him. A point for him is like a win there.
And if you see how Liverpool played against Southampton and the way they used both the wing, I mean Salah's first goal, and how also in the middle they're bullying in the middle the likes of Szoboszlai and Gravenberch. So there's something there. If City play with the same holding midfielders against Liverpool, it's going to be a massacre. Pep has to re-engineer that team and see where they can play differently or how he can stack. If he can bring the likes maybe of Ake to play as a defensive midfielder, for example, and then now because Akanji is back, Stones is there, bring maybe Ake in the middle to hold there, maybe play a 4-5-1 formation. Again, I'm not Pep. Pep is one of the greatest managers in the world. I'm a pundit, but we can see where there's a weakness, and I believe Liverpool are going to exploit it.
Okay, fair enough. Joe Saina telling the Liverpool players, or rather telling Pep Guardiola he will have to rediscover that midfield in order to discover how they can play well at Anfield. I want to advise you guys. This weekend, the best place to play your bets, or rather place your bets, of course, is SportPesa. Not only do they have the casino bets or the aviator, there is also that mega jackpot. Over 391 million Kenyan shillings. Msiangalie Chris Baby. I think mimi sasa nitaanza
391. That's a good transfer budget for Man Utd. If you can get that money this January for Man Utd, we can buy at least good players.
Because all they're asking you to do is use 99 bob. Pay bill number 955-100. Account number ni phone number yako. What are you waiting for, bro? 391 million in Kongoja. And over the past 2 months, there have been so many millionaires awarded.
Yes.
So I do hope some of these guys will take the chance and become the latest millionaires in the 254.
And you buy a stadium.
Exactly.
That you can host the Mashemeji derby.
Umesema Murko na ingia SportPesa.
That fixture, Joe. That was a sure.
Usilie, Venant, usilie. Right now, I want Joe to take over. We are speaking about big club business. You can leave the set. You can leave. It's time to talk about the biggest club in the world, you know? Of course, wase wameshaanza kutubanta after we drew to Ipswich 1-1. These tactics used to work against the Family Cows and the Santa Claras. Na sasa they work against Ipswich. Joe, what's your take on Amorim's first game as a United manager?
So it was important for him to play the 3-4-3 for him because first thing is first, he needed to understand the type of players he has. He doesn't have a Trincao anymore. He doesn't have a Gikaresh. In the defense, he doesn't have an Inacio. He doesn't have a Diomonde. He has none of those players. What he has Johnny Evans. Sasawa. He has Casemiro. He has
Rashford.
Already pound for pound, that is a step down from what he had. But one thing he realized very fast yesterday is that Manchester United, one-on-one, we cannot sustain it. As a team. So we don't have the legs anymore, especially if you're going to expand the pitch, okay? So what he did yesterday is that he realized that and he told the players, according to what I was looking at, he told the players, here's the thing, let us have this formation and keep our center solid. Let's keep the wings open. Let them try and crossing the balls, try and see if they can get a lucky shot here and there. Obviously, one lucky shot and that went in was Omari Hutchinson's goal. But apart from that, you could see there was a solidity in the middle because one-on-one, we cannot perform. Yeah. I was a bit skeptical about Evans starting on the left side without his space. But if the same guy who made Sebastian Coates look like prime Maldini when he's about to retire, then he can do the same thing to Johnny Evans.
Yeah.
So for me, the formation worked. One other thing that worked for me yesterday was that there was an urgency in attack.
True.
If you look at Ahmad and his runs, if you look at Garnacho should have passed that ball. Now maybe we could have been talking 2-1. Yeah. But he should have passed that ball earlier. But there was a sense of urgency. There was a quickness about it. And that Rashford, for the first time, whether they hate him or not, he actually ran back, got the ball and did some few supplies like a false number 9. But going forward, obviously, that will be the job of Højlund and the likes of Xerxes. But so far, first game, you can't judge him on the first game. It's against a promoted team. Obviously, you'd think the win should come. Yeah. But there's a lot of rejigging that needs in that squad for him to perform at where he was at Sporting. The same Sporting that was beating Man City in the Champions League.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. I'd like to ask, what are some of the new things that you saw in that game that you haven't seen in Manchester United so far?
The urgency for sure. The urgency, the runs, they were making runs. Because under Ten Hag, it was more of, support ball, whereby, for example, he has the ball, and instead of me making forward runs behind the defense, I come close to him, give me the ball. Then it's more of possession, who's in the right gap, where can I pass? Yesterday it was more of, you run behind the defense, you keep on running, the ball will get to you. And that's how, for example, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer finished second with Manchester United. That's the same way. Even with the worst season ever for Sir Alex Ferguson, he still finished either second or even sometimes first, even with the worst teams, because the idea is run, make those runs, destabilize the defense.
Yeah.
And that's what we need with a team, for example, like Manchester City, who play high line. If we can play that counter press, again, something that we did not do yesterday effectively was press. He doesn't have the players to do the press. Once he gets the players to do the press, I think there is something working there. He said it himself. It is going to take some time, and the Manchester United fan base and management need to be patient with him. But those are the things that I saw that were different.
We are forgetting one person. Onana, bana.
Onana, man of the match yesterday.
Come on, Brian, give credit where it's due. Onana. Give credit where it's due.
Venant, by the way, Venant is the biggest racist out there. Please run back these episodes and tell me when Venant has ever even supported a white player. I'm not saying see Saka, see Omala, sasa umerukia Onana.
I've just talked about Vicario right now.
No, don't get me wrong. You do have a point. Credit where credit is due. Onana, I was not familiar with your game. Those 2 saves against Delap.
Especially the first one.
Yeah, that gives him confidence. That gives him the belief that now he can be integrated with the United fans as well. Because it was a painful loss for me when we sold De Gea. And then Onana comes in and doesn't start well.
Do you know there's a statistic out there that De Gea now at Fiorentina has more clean sheets than any other keeper in Serie A?
Boom.
Actually, back here kwa akili.
But at
the end of the day, my manager, the latest drip manager, niko sure Teta akiendanga kinyozi anasemanga nipe the Amorim cut.
The Amorim cut.
You can tell. But at the end of the day, what I liked more so past the game was what he said, his comments post-match.
Okay.
He praised Ahmad for doing a very good job. Also praised Mazraoui, but also questioned Zaxi getting into the box. Jay-Z, my guy, what's going on? No, Jay-Z. There's one signing I backed this summer window was Joshua Zaxi. Yeah.
And then he makes a conversion. You'll think it's the finals of the Rugby World Cup.
Exactly. Why isn't he making the run into the box as a 9? And then he also questioned the likes of Bruno, who's always wanting the long ball. Now he has to maintain the small pass and tiki-taka. He also questioned Dalot. Dalot is used to passing into centre backs and getting into to midfield. Now he has to work on the flank.
But he did so well on that wing. Dallo did so well. He expanded the pitch for me. And the only place I can't even believe I'm saying, the only place I can correct Amorim, Amorim as a manager,
assistant.
No. But hopefully one day he's watching the World Cup. He's like, you know, that Joe Saina said something. He replaced Bruno and put in not Bruno, but he put Zaxis in the same position as Bruno. And in that formation, you'll need your number 10s to either be narrow or sometimes play wide. Making Zaxi play on the wing, it's going to be hard. I think that's why he didn't perform that well. Zaxi is either false 9 or a number 9. It's as simple as that. So he needs to find a balance between Hodgland, Zaxis, and how you'll play them in that formation.
Okay.
Moving forward, how do you guys feel as United fans? How do you guys feel about Europa?
We have to win that one. You only must win.
With the new manager,
we are the best team. We have the best coach in the whole Europa League right now, and
we
are not dropping from the Champions League, and we are still unbeaten in Europe. We have to win that. Even Spurs don't scare me as much as they've beaten us and they've beaten City. Now we have
Spurs
to.
Spurs are playing Roma.
We have to win that. We have to win that Europa.
And Ranieri will do us a favor.
And what are some of the players that you like for Amorim to keep, considering we are literally a few weeks away from the January transfer window? So, of course, some people will leave and some people will come to the team.
I think it's going to be difficult to say. I think he'll make most of his signings in May, like after the season's done.
Okay.
And departures are looking very difficult right now because I don't think there's anyone out there who wants to sign Johnny Evans. I mean, this brother practically came to do his coaching badges, and now he's in a 3-for-3 press system.
He's starting a game, but
coaching badges.
No, he needs, wait, as somebody who trains other people, his fitness is up there. So he has to stay.
And then I'm looking at the midfield. I think Kase could go. Eriksen is already confirmed he's leaving because the future will be Kobe and Ugarte in that midfield. The right-hand side, I'm very confident because if Ahmad is playing up front and all our centre-backs are fit, then Mazraoui is the right wing-back. The left side, though, is the issue. Garnacho, still a super sub for me. And also Dalot is not an out-and-out left-back. I'd rather him and Mazraoui fight for the right side and then we sign a new left-back properly.
What if you get a good offer for Rashford?
Any day, twice on Sunday.
Sell him.
Yeah, please.
West Ham wakuje tu niaje. We have 35 million and this good salary, like the salary they gave Nottingham gave Lingard. Something like that.
No, I would take it. I would take it in a heartbeat. Not because he's not a good player. He's a fantastic player. But I think the direction to which Amorim is taking this team, I don't think it will suit Rashford. It will not suit Rashford because Rashford, in its own self, he believes he's the heart and soul of Manchester United. Just like Bruno, for example, the likes of Delete behind. But if you see goal creation versus goal conversion, for a guy who's supposed to be the left winger, our best left winger, who doesn't want to play as a number 9, I think it's wanting. So a good amount, 35-40 mil, I would tell him, say, you know what, it's fine. I would go to Italy, I would go to Napoli, give Napoli 30 million. We want Neres. We get Neres, for example.
Fair enough. I agree with that. You've spoken about the fact that Rashford and the future of Amorim's direction is they're not as well as aligned, right?
Yeah, they won't.
Okay, fair enough.
Because how he set up his team.
Yeah.
For him, because he's playing with 2 10s who can also play as wingers. That means not only do you need the creativity side of it, but you also need the ball possession, keeping the ball.
Ooh, and that's difficult for him.
Yes. Now, at the same time, the urgency to pick a pass. We saw yesterday how Garnacho, yes, you're good on the ball, but are you picking the passes? Yes. Are you a team player in such a formation? Because you're a number 10. You're not a winger anymore. You're a 10 who goes wide. So you need that team player also in any credibility or attribute. I don't see that in Rashford. So we need someone who can distribute the ball, play the ball, and create the chances.
In short, you're saying a team player. Speaking of team players, man, from Leicester, all the roads led to Denmark in Copenhagen.
Again, here's the thing. So they lost the game
to Chelsea. Yeah.
And how they were allowed to go and party in Copenhagen the same night. And even one of the players was spotted holding a sign saying, Enzo, I miss you, referring to Enzo Maresca, who was their former manager. And then now the next day on Sunday to receive news that Steve Cooper has been sacked. That shows that was a proper coup. The next manager, no, I'm serious, that's a proper coup. The next manager needs to come in, find those players who sabotaged this guy's job, because you're 2 points above the relegation zone. You've recently been promoted. He's not doing a bad job. I mean, we're only in November. He's not doing a bad job. Give him some money in January. Let him get, a good attacker. Let him get a good defender. Because Fes is not a defender. Fes is a defensive midfielder. He's a defensive midfielder.
Yeah.
So he's the David Luiz of this generation.
Yes.
That big confusion. Was he a good defensive midfielder or a defender?
Centre-back.
Yeah, he's not. So get a centre back. Get a good attacker. Jamie Vardy, yes, he's good, but his days.
Kind of numbered.
Yeah, that kind of numbered. He's not the same. He's not the same guy who has that same pace. So, do you get a manager who understands that and plays the game around? This guy has become slow. Can we be better with ball possession instead of? Yesterday, we were playing a lot of long balls, but you're playing a long balls towards Jamie Vardy, who has been marked by whether it's Fofana, whether it's Badiashile, whether it's Levi Colwell, whoever was playing there.
Him.
If it's Cucurella, not that Enzo Fernandez is already marking him. So by the time he's getting the ball, there are 4 players around him. You can't play the long ball with a guy who's alone, and yet everyone was defending.
Fair enough.
No, you can't.
Me, on my end, Leicester players, when I grow up, I want to be like you, bro.
Wait, what?
Literally, these guys, my club,
Lost.
It's like the company I work for. Let's say the company I work for decides to get rid of someone who has promoted us, someone who has won us the league in the championship, someone who has elevated our company, and then they give us someone who was struggling with a different company the previous season. Of course, I'll celebrate. I mean, come on, dog. Say there's no way he's getting to the levels of Maresca, so why not celebrate? If your boss is bad, mwambie.
But now my question to you and to Vest here is, who will be the next manager to save Leicester City from relegation if it wasn't Steve Cooper?
Steve Cooper couldn't do that job.
He did it very well at Nottingham Forest. What do you mean he can't do it at Leicester City?
Different players.
Nottingham
At Forest, he had Chris Wood and Awoni, who are out and out bullies as strikers.
And at Nottingham Forest, they bought. Actually, this is actually my point with the Leicester City.
Yeah.
It's more of kujipanga for the Premier League. Nottingham Forest had to get like 30 people to survive the league. Tell me key players in
Leicester decided to get rid of the manager and a key midfielder in Drewsbury Hall, who promoted them in their campain. So at the end of the day, Steve Cooper was always gonna get sacked.
It's sad, but I didn't think it was this early.
2 wins in this season alone. I mean, you have to account for it.
If that's the case, then why does Russell still have his job at Southampton? Both of them were promoted.
Different team, different systems. Probably due to different financial pockets. Like, I don't know with the Southampton situation. Yeah, I don't know with this. But at least with that Liverpool game, I've seen there's progress in terms of how they play. Because to hold Liverpool off to literally the last minutes where they have to get a penalty to win, that's progress. But with Leicester City, it reached a point where it was more of, if you play against Leicester City, it's a guaranteed win.
Okay. Just a sidebar before we get to what we want to talk about next. Do you think Ipswich survive this season with how they're playing?
Yes.
Ipswich survive.
Ipswich can survive. They just need to switch on with Delap. They need to switch on with the guys who are getting him the ball. I mean, you saw it yesterday.
Yes.
This guy has bags of potential. I still believe, no disrespect to Ole Watkins, no disrespect to Solanke, but long-term replacement for Hurricane in England, for me, is Delap.
Liam Delap.
Yeah, but again in January, they have to solidify. Get some good loan signings, experienced loan signings that can keep them afloat, because it will be sad for someone like Delap again being relegated. Yeah, but someone is going to pick him up in the Premier League for sure.
I'm looking at Ipswich right now. They've only lost 5 games, but the reason why they are not where they are right now, it's because they are drawing so many
draws, you see.
But the form changed from game week 10, where they drew, and then there's that famous win against Spurs. And when you look up the upcoming fixtures, Nottingham Forest, Crystal Palace, Bournemouth, Wolves, Newcastle.
You can get
them are winnable.
Somewhere there you can get 6 points.
Okay.
So even 7, 2 wins and a draw.
Yes.
And next, it's changed the complexion of how the table looks.
Yeah.
So I think they still have a chance.
Fair enough. You've talked about how in January they should get some key signings. One man who wants to get new signings for his club is, of course, Florentino Perez. He talked about the fact that Madrid now want to improve on signing Spanish players, considering their midfield lacks that Spanish guile, especially right now with everyone looking at the Spanish national team. He also talked about the fact that I want you guys to give me your opinions on what he was talking about. So first off, of course, Spanish players, and they have their eyes on Zubimendi from Sociedad. Then he also talked about the fact that Vini Jr. is the best player in the world. And he said that Rodri Ballon d'Or should have been given to Vini because the previous season, Rodri should have won it after City won the treble.
Yeah. So in terms of signings, first of all, they have to fight with Manchester City for Zubimendi and Liverpool also, because I think he'll be prime target for that. If you look at the midfield, I mean, good God Almighty, Pedri. We had Pedri and Xavi and Gabri. Sorry, and if you think about how they would have developed, they have Olmo. So sorry, that's Barcelona. For Real Madrid, sorry. For Real Madrid, the likes of Valverde, Tchouameni, Camavinga is there. Bellingham played as a number 9. Gula is also there. So I guess for me, it's just a straight up defensive midfielder who's Spanish. They need to. Anaweza, lakini sasa unaona, I think there's that desire of having a Spanish midfielder inside there, or a defensive midfielder. I mean, they would give an arm and a leg for a guy like Rodri. True. But a Rodri Spanish player right now, it's hard to find. Zubimendi maybe. But for me, them saying that, Vini should have deserved the Ballon d'Or, I believe so. And the biggest fight is who plays on that left wing without having an ego. Vini, not Mbappe. Mbappe has to figure out how he's going to play as a number 9. He played yesterday as a right. When Jude Bellingham played in the middle, he scored. Okay, so is that a formula that Carlo Ancelotti says, maybe we can go back to winning ways this way? Yes. But he has more. I don't think he has more. He has a bigger headache between Vini and Mbappe than signing a midfielder. So kuna headache huko mbele.
Venant, and to bring you into this conversation, you've talked about Mbappe learning to play as a 9. So my name is Kylian Mbappe. I am the marquee signing for Madrid this season. I'm coming into this team fair. Vini's performances have confirmed this is his team, it's his world, and we all have to just...
And that left wing in Niake.
Exactly. But I'm learning to play as a 9, but when I go to France, I'm captain and I'm left winger.
Yeah, that's France. This is Real Madrid. Number 2.
Saka doesn't do that for England. Haaland doesn't do that for Norway.
Please, let's not...
Odegaard doesn't do that. Exactly. At the end of the day, why are you telling me to play 9 at Real Madrid, yet even Deschamps respects me enough as captain of the team to know that I'm a left-wing starter when it comes to the national team?
Joe, we've seen this movie before. It's called Thierry Henry.
Yes.
Started as a winger. Arsene saw him, was like, hey, Niadze, you can play as a CF, center forward.
But he was still coming off the left, Venant.
To cut in.
It took him some time, yes. But history has shown us what happened once he adapted to the new role. I was talking with a friend of mine, shout out to Douglas, and he was telling me that's Nani's fault, and it was Mbappe's fault. As a player, you need to adapt. That Vinicius position, that one is solid.
Yeah, it is his.
That one is solid. Not unless he's injured. That one is solid. He's there.
Yes.
And also, you've mentioned France, different system with...
Thuram as the 9.
Different system with Real Madrid.
Yes.
But back to Real Madrid. You've given this role as number 9. You're still young. You have the time to adapt. They are already invested in you. It's up to you now to adapt and play this Makiro. He played very well this weekend and he scored. So it's like proof of concept that this can work. So it's up to him to get it off his head and really focus on Ancelotti and the plan that he has for him. Otherwise, he's better off in another club like Arsenal or something.
Yeah. Hey, come on, man. Come on, man.
Actually,
if he comes, for example, if he comes to Arsenal, he's given the number 9 T-shirt.
Yes.
Clean.
Yes.
But that means...
But he's a left winger.
But not only that, he can't come back, ask for the ball and supply to Saka and supply
he
to
replaces
Trossard,
Martinelli once he comes to your team.
So basically, you'll have to carry him as a number 9.
You're forgetting that we have Arteta who's good at player development.
He's good at that.
That's why I'm so confident when I say he'll be better off like in a team like Arsenal. But me, I still, it's his responsibility
as
to
a player,
adapt
as a professional
to the new role. But I'll blame Real Madrid in wrong acquisitions of players. As in, with Real Madrid, yes, they are signing the new players, but that's their problem. They are signing the wrong players.
Because they signed Endrick.
as a 9. Upcoming 9.
Rodrigo is supposed to be the right with Vini on the left.
Yes.
Okay. So now you've signed Mbappe, big name. So where do you put Mbappe? If you put him as a 9, issues are beginning. Now they put him yesterday as a right winger, where Rodrigo is supposed to be playing.
Yes.
So Rodrigo asks himself, so this is it. This is how it's going to be. Because they performed very well and they won, I think, 3-0. You get?
Yeah.
So, and you're playing under Carlo Ancelotti. This is a guy who has won more trophies.
Thank you so much for saying that.
This is a guy who has won more trophies than you playing at AS Monaco.
Thank you so much for saying that, because
so when he tells you I want you as 9, you're a 9.
But 11 games in, Madrid still don't look like. I mean, later on tonight, as the episode is released, they play against Liverpool. It doesn't look like they're going to beat Liverpool at Anfield. It does not look like so.
But he's going to play Mbappe as a right winger because he's seen it's working with Bellingham in the middle as a false 9.
So for you, Ancelotti lasts the season?
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow. I don't think so.
You don't think Ancelotti
I don't think so, man. I don't think so.
Wait, what makes you believe that?
I think because the rumors, Madrid rumors are always as concrete as United rumors. And the rumor is that they want to go to Santiago Solari if Ancelotti doesn't get a fix by January.
Ule ni hot cake. He leaves today, gets a club tomorrow.
Which club right now?
Ancelotti.
Which club right now?
Ancelotti.
Which club right now?
AC Milan even will fire that guy who's
club does not.
Look at where Mourinho is right now. If he's to get another job, he probably goes to Fiorentina or some. Not a big club.
I'm sorry, but you can't compare Ancelotti to Mourinho. If you're going to have that argument here,
he is a great coach, but if he doesn't,
he's not going to go to Turkey. No, he's going to get a big job.
Big job.
Fiorentina is a big club.
Because they have De Gea, it's a big club.
I think it's suffer. And wrapping up also on what Perez said, because you touted that he had a very good game against Leganes. He talked about the fact that Bellingham has been overplayed, and he blames UEFA and FIFA for combining and coming together and creating so many competitions and whatnot. He said Bellingham has played so many games, yet when Beckham was at Bellingham's age, he had only played like about 54 games.
Professional football has changed. Professional future in the future now is more money oriented. I mean, he's the same person who wanted to set up the Super League. Sibado Bellingham angekuwa anacheza games mingi.
But the Super League would have meant fewer games, because UEFA would have kicked them out of the Champions League.
The difference between the Champions League right now and the Super League was what? See, this is the same system. It was going to be a league. So UEFA just took it and said, copy paste, this works. Where I have an issue is maybe likes of Nation League, hizo.
Because even players are choosing not to play.
I mean, come on, England pool, 11 players.
Arteta is very scared of losing top 4. He's telling Saka and Rice to...
We are talking about Real Madrid.
Anyway, speaking of so many initiatives, the UEFA Champions League, the league phase, the Super Leagues and the whatnot, SportPesa have their own Tujiamini initiative. Wasewa Coast, all eyes are on you. The place to place your videos, of course, is tujiamini.co.ke. Remember, there is also the gold category, silver category and bronze category for all talents out there. Joe, talent yako ni gani? Mtu akikwambia sahi, tell me your talent off the cuff.
Hey, bro, it's an over 18 thing. I can't say it here.
Hey, Joe. Hadi light skins mnakuanga mmebarikiwa. But anyway, nikisema but tutakuwa cancel. Sasa ni nyamaza. If you wanted to put it out there, of course, tujiamini.co.ke is the website to post all your videos. Whether you're a dancer, whether you're a dribbler, a juggler, a rapper, Tujiamini has you covered.
For my color. He just had to go for my color.
I'm learning from Venant. Racist.
Oh, so I'm sitting to the worst one.
Because you're Venant ni kupenda black players. There is a praise.
I talk about Arteta, bwana wewe.
Wacha niachane na Arteta. Hii wiki, by the way, he sold one of his players to transfer in a player. So you see, when Bruno was hot on form after Ten Hag has been sacked, I chose to sell Saka and transfer in Bruno. FPL ni kumoto sahi.
Nice.
So Haaland and Bruno fumbled for me, and Salah is the only one who performed for me. Salah is the only one in my team. So now ni either niteme Bruno ama niteme Haaland sasa.
No, Odegaard is back. Tema mtu moja.
Nimerudisha Saka. No, literally after you guys won 3-0 nilimrudisha. But sasa nimewaka way around where I have Salah, Saka, Bruno and Haaland. So I need to get rid of Haaland or Bruno.
Bruno for
I need to
Odegaard.
get rid of one of them.
Bruno for Odegaard.
Bado Haaland abaki.
The good thing is,
Yeah.
the good thing is you have plenty of options. So it depends with what. Do you need immediate results? Are you looking for players to stick with long term?
Me, I just don't want to finish last in any of the FPL leagues.
Sawa. So the beauty of FPL is right now we have no international breaks.
At the match.
At the match. And the fixtures will be a bit squeezed. So like I said on the last episode, actually listen to the last episode.
Yeah.
We need to now you need to buy players who won guaranteed game time and also to the best players from these teams.
Yes.
So you're looking to sell Haaland. So I'm looking at Aston Villa for you. Aston Villa have Chelsea away, Brentford and Southampton at home.
Yeah.
Then Nottingham Forest away. So Apple Watkins is there who's consistent. He's cheap, 9 million. I've talked about Rodgers and Tielemans on last week's episode. We also have to look at Brighton and Joao Pedro.
Oh, Joao Pedro.
Who's cheap and is still scoring. Southampton at home, Fulham away, Leicester away, Crystal Palace at home. One thing about these teams is they're conceding goals. Spurs. Come on, Spurs. Fulham home, Bournemouth away, Chelsea home, Southampton away. So Solanke and his sons, Madison, Brennan Johnson, Ibinsan, Kulusevski by the way, Pedro Porro. You can look at him over there. Wolves and
Cunha. Hey, I was waiting.
Yes.
Hey, I was waiting.
That's my free transfer. I've actually transferred him in 6.9 million. Probably by now he's 7 million. He's very cheap. You can sell Haaland for him. You can also talk about Arsenal.
Yes.
Saka is a must-have. I repeat, Saka is a must-have in FPL. But somebody wants us to talk about is Timber and Odegaard. Odegaard is the captain. Captain means guaranteed game time. He's going to start these games, considering also he's coming from an injury.
Yeah.
And the fixtures, West Ham away, Man United home, Fulham away, and this is what? Everton at home. So this is somebody who you can consider, and his 8.2 is just cheap. But if you're looking for cheap, fast fix for your team, Brentford are hosting Leicester City, Chelsea are hosting Aston Villa, Crystal Palace versus Newcastle. I feel that one is a fixture to watch. Man United are hosting Everton and Nottingham are hosting Ipswich. These are fixtures that you can look at the best players to pick. Come a Brentford, of course, Wissa, Beumo, Damsgaard over there. Chelsea, Cole Palmer. Oh, by the way, you missed that chance that you missed.
Some weird
Ni Madueke.
Yeah, but with Chelsea, kuna rotation over there. Crystal Palace versus Newcastle. Crystal Palace, we've seen Mateta. That brilliant game against Aston Villa. It's like we need to invest.
His assist was really nice.
But Aston Villa for me, Tielemans, Watkins, and Rodgers. Man United versus Everton. Actually, this one you can help. Who are the Man United players that...
Wrap it up by telling guys to captain Rashford or Bruno. It's very simple. You know, under Amorim ball, we're about to start cooking. And not only for this coming weekend. Adi tukienda Emirates, captain Rashford and Bruno. We're about to kill those top four hopes.
Until Dokure says, hold my beer.
Yes.
Yeah. Me, as a United fan, if you don't have Rashford or Bruno right now, up until maybe the derby, which is on 15th December, you're missing out.
Yeah, but somebody who's safe right now to buy captain and just stick with him is Salah.
Of course.
Yes.
Hey.
Salah versus Man City.
Hey, man.
The Salah show.
Okay, so boss. Anyway, it is time for trivia right now. I'm happy Nyash is missing. I'm still scared. Unajua Nyash kila time ameva all black, me lose. Sasa wejo.
No. Don't worry.
Did you talk to Nyash before you came here?
No. Pure coincidence.
So boss. Me, I'm ready for the trivia. The only problem about trivia this season is the host of the trivia is a Liverpool fan. Man,
Yes.
I don't understand, but I hope leo umenisetia swali rahisi, si ndio?
Of course. Question now.
The first one to buzz answers.
If he buzzed it for me.
Karada.
Haya, sawa.
Eh.
Sawa. No worries.
Okay, let's go. Question number 1. At which club did Frank Lampard start his professional career?
West Ham. Leo Nyasha yuko niko on.
Okay, question number 2.
Yeah.
Who is the Bundesliga all-time goal scorer?
Gerd Muller.
Correct.
Yeah, no. Kuna
Kuna
Mwakenya hapa bana.
Let's go.
Number 3.
Yeah.
Which country has appeared in 3 World Cup finals but never won the competition?
Bro.
Never won the competition. Russia.
Netherlands.
Correct.
Tuendelee.
Where's Nyash?
Question number 4.
Yeah.
RB Leipzig, are otherwise known as?
Rasen Ballsport Leipzig.
Bro. Next. Ni AKA.
I just said.
Ameuliza AKA. I don't know what it stands for.
Next.
Shoot.
Any
Blank hapo.
Red Bulls.
Red Bulls. Yeah, I wanted to say Red Bulls. Sungoja ni sema.
Ungesema.
That's my point.
Umeenda wedding alafu kaanza kuambia dem I wanted to marry you. Bro, wedding
I had already played. I'm checking
This is the final question.
The final question.
The final question. I'm leading.
Which outfield player appeared in the Champions League final in 3 different decades?
3 different decades. Shit, karibu niseme Seedorf. Hiyo nisha pass. Pass.
Repeat it again.
Which outfield player appeared in the Champions League final in 3 different decades?
Oh my God.
3 different decades. No way. 3 different decades. Maldini?
Nope.
Which country is he from? At least give us a clue.
A clue?
Yeah.
Played in Premier League.
Thiago Silva.
Nope.
Country? Which country? Tuseme country.
3 different
decades.
Ryan Giggs.
Correct.
Wait, as a United fan, he needs to be deducted a point. He needs to be deducted a point.
Hiyo tuko tied. We are tied. Yeah. Let's go. Nyasha. Hebu tuangalie. Uko na
Sina.
Yeah. Tiebreaker. Wow.
The 2026 World Cup will be hosted across 3 different countries. Which one?
2026 World Cup, 3 different countries. USA, Mexico, Canada.
Correct.
Nyasha kienda.
Yes, lakini his speed.
Trust me, I'm not always fast on that.
If Johnny Evans was that fast, we don't need to buy another defender.
Gori. So mi kwanza hata hapo Byron, please, when you're editing nataka uonyeshe leaderboard. Leo niko confident enough. Leo niko confident kuongea after trivia.
So he's won me by a point, eh?
Yeah, by a point.
Weke leaderboard hapo. Hey, Venant, pull up your socks. Hata uko nazo,
Yes, we are sorry, man.
Big shout out going out to the trivia, man. Otis leo, I think Otis next week nitakubaya lunch. Liverpool wakipigwa.
Noticed he was using the phone so much during the show. I believe some communication was going on here.
Kabisa, you know they have numbers. Yeah.
No. I was using my phone to check on the comments from last week's question of the week. Okay. Yeah, and last week's questions of the week, of course, was which player scored the goal that was disallowed when Tottenham beat Man City in the Champions League? And the answer was, of course, Raheem Sterling. So a big shout out going to Davis Nganga. Yeah, he's gone ahead to give us even the third name. Amesema Raheem Akinyi Sterling scored the disallowed goal.
Akinyi? Okay.
Kuna Joseph Mbudhia anasema Raheem Sterling. Frederick Maluki pia anasema Raheem Sterling. And of course, Alvo_10 pia anasema Raheem Sterling. Big shout out to you. And a big shout out to also Samuel Miles, who listens constantly to the podcast, where he came out on the comments and said, best football show in his opinion. Big shout out, man. Up until next time, Joe, it's been great having you here.
Pleasure is all mine.
Not for your football opinion, but for your trivia, Miss Valiant. So please come back next week.
We need you. We need
Come
you.
back.
I am available, but next time I'm coming back, I am winning this.
Come back next week. It's been a great show. I've been your host, Brian Waudok, alongside
Joe Saina.
Venant, best FPL manager in town.
So this has been the Wildcard.